The storage unit deal was on the market for, man, maybe like almost a year, and it was 60% occupied, ballpark. There was like 120 storage units. There was 20,000 square feet of like boat storage space for the winter, or, just like open warehouse type space almost. There was a 4,000 square foot shop, and there was 5 apartments. And the seller, the listing was about to come up, so the broker wanted to move it, right? Because if the selling expired, he took it away from the broker wasn't going to get paid. So the broker, even though she was on his side because she was a listing broker, she was still like advocating, hey, you should work with these guys. So I think he had it listed for 1.5. We got it for, our first offer was like 800,000. We had 11 counter offers. We came in at 1.2. So what we did for the storage units, I'll just do storage units here. It was 1.2. The bank gave us, let me see, the seller, and then we had an investor. The investor put in like 60,000. The seller held 240,000. So we would pay the seller back every month basically for this. And the bank did like 900K. Right? So what I did was I gave this investor 15% plus of equity plus 6% preferred return on their money, right? This investor made out great on this. She like 3 or 4x her money, by the way. Then there was 85%, so then my buddy got 13%, and I ended up with 72% equity. So I ended up with 72%. Plus, there was a lot of issues getting this to happen because the banks that we were trying to get to finance it, the seller took a lot of cash on the property. So there was no financials, there was no tax documents to back up how much the property is actually making because he just did it under the table. He didn't report it. And so it was really hard for us to get a loan. I really fought and I really helped the seller prove as much of the income as I could to show the bank. And so I also told the seller, because of that work I did, I said, hey, Mr. Seller, and I did this like 3 weeks before we sold it. I said, hey, by the way, because I did all this stuff for you, you're going to pay me 10K at the closing. So he paid me 10K at closing to do this, and I got 72% of the asset. He made it out great because my buddy made it out great. He has 13% of that, no money down, and he got to manage it, so he made money managing it. The investor made it out great because now this is worth 240, or it was probably worth like 200 or 240 once we were done here. But now she is invested. She also rolled her funds forward into the 96 unit. So now her 240 is probably worth like more like 500 just like 4 years later. So that's how